Hello, everyone. We're gonna start up with the next two learning cards. I've gone through into the inventory, so we're gonna be doing cards 8 and 9 right now. I'll have links, obviously, to the blank ones if you need them, or you can pick them up in class. And again, remember the goal here is to give you guys a resource to use on homework, test preparation, and then obviously in future year system. So the first one we're gonna do is card 8. And as you can see down here, I'm zooming in so it's a little bit easier to read, but we're going to talk about the basic exponent rules here. And again, we're going to talk about some of the background, some of the shortcuts, and we'll start from there. Exponential anatomy. For exponential anatomy, remember we have down here, we have our base, that's the big number. We have our exponent up here. And what the exponent tells us is it's going to tell us how many times are multiplying the base by itself. So in this case, I've got 4 times 4 times 4. I've got 3 4s multiplied together. You multiply all that out, hey, it's 64. So the little number, make sure it's superscripted nice. There's nothing worse than bad superscripts. This unwritten exponents here, let me do one thing before I forget. Okay, so unwritten exponents, this is something that people, again, simple concept, easy to get mixed up with. So if you do not have a written exponent, then the exponent is automatically 1. So if I had 2, that's really 2 to the first. If I had 3 x squared y, that's going to equal 3 to the first x squared y to the first. And again, remember, it's mainly because mathematicians are lazy. It's also kind of like what the grammar do. Mathematicians are like, I don't want to write all those ones. We'll just assume that's a 1. It's also like how when you say, hey, I'm going to go play a video game, you don't say, I'm going to go play one video game. I want 1 banana, please. No, I want a banana. So it's similar to matching up with grammar there. Remember here, this is big. Whoa, stop. There we go. You may only use the exponent rules with like, aka same bases. You can't merge different bases together. It would not be helpful. Again, as always, pause as you need to, rewind as you need to. I'm just going to keep plowing along. This next section here, just so you know, give a shout out. I've been trying to figure out a good way to display all of this for a while. I'm going to give a shout out on this part to Sarah Carter and her Math Equals Loves blog. She's a math teacher down in Oklahoma, and it's one of those things where I've been doing a similar variety of this, but I saw in one of her interactive notebook slides this what I'm about to see here, and it looked really good, so I'm going to try it this year and see how it pans out. So this is basically matching up kind of with order of operations. So, you do powers first, and then we have multiplying. And then we have addition. And the shortcut on these, and again, we have the notes and saying that, okay, don't write this down. Remember, this is really x to the third times x to the third. We're saying we're having 5 sets of x to the third. So the proof of this is saying, okay, if we write it all out, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and that's going to equal x to the 15th. The shortcut on this is that you end up multiplying exponents. So when you have powers to powers, you multiply exponents. And here's the part that I liked, because I was always saying it's kind of like, when you're taking powers, the shortcut is always one step down from what you're doing. So instead of taking powers, the step down here, notice we've got the multiplying here. Taking powers to powers, shortcut is multiplying. When you're multiplying like bases here, so same numbers, you're going to add them. So it's like, again, what's the step down below? Let me get my creative pen here. Wrong one, magic pen. So when I'm taking, when I'm doing multiplying, I'm going to go down a step. Actually, see, yeah, right there. Okay. So, oops. So like here, if I'm multiplying, the shortcut is a step down. So up here, powers, step down, I multiply. Multiplying, you take a step down, and you add. So again, here, the shortcut, when you're multiplying like bases, is adding, so I end up with x to the 8th. So anyway, as I said, I thought that was really good. So I thought I would make sure Sarah got credit for that. And actually, this next part over here, too, the little verbiage here, again, is a shout out to that, too. Just, again, a memory trigger. So when dividing powers with like bases, we subtract the exponents. Again, similar sort of relationship as to what's going on here, multiplying and adding, dividing and subtracting. So over here, x to the 7th minus 3, I get x to the 4th. And again, the reasoning behind this, if you want to write this down, you can. What's actually going on, remember we've got 7 x's out here on the top. I've got 3 on the bottom. So 3 of them are dividing out. We talked about how it's kind of like, if you have 7 friends and 3 of them find significant others, they start dating somebody, then really you only have 4 people hanging out because the other people are going to be hanging out with their new special someone. And then the hint here that Sarah gave, which I thought was good, was you're going to say, view the fraction bar. Sorry. Actually, here, let me write it this. Use the fraction bar as a reminder of subtraction. It's like a big subtraction bar. So some people write it like that. So, I'm going to actually separate these 2 learning cards out separately so they're easier to find. So I'm going to stop this one here. I'll start up the next one. If you have any questions, obviously shoot me an email or hit me up and remind, or obviously stop in before or after school at lunch.